We just had an absolute bomb dropped on us in the Call of the Wild community with the brand new winter preview show that EW has decided to do this year. In this almost 1 hour video that they have released, they talked about so many incredible things coming to the Hunter Call of the Wild on December 3rd. That's right. Everything you see in this video here and in their video is coming on December 3rd, all at the same time, which is unbelievable. This is going to be the biggest update we've ever got in the Hunter Call of the Wild. A new dog, a new map, 2 new great ones, a new weapon pack, overhaul to the Hunt Club, and so much more. It is going to be a crazy update. So, without any further ado, let's get into it and start talking about each of these items individually. The first thing that they talked about during this preview show was the German short-haired pointer. That's right, we're getting a brand new dog, and this time it's a pointer, a dog that will be able to help us with tracking animals that we haven't already shot. So, that is going to be absolutely huge. It'll be able to find large and small game, flush birds, and point towards an animal that you spot with your binoculars, which is going to be very, very helpful because it can actually keep track of an animal that you have tagged. Now, there was a lot of interesting stuff they mentioned about the German short-haired pointer, so I think for this part of the video, we're actually going to show a clip from that video because it is very, very cool, some of the stuff they talked about, and I feel like they say it better than I ever could.
So, we got a new pointer. Can you tell me a bit about what it does? What does it bring to the table?
Sure, yes. The pointer, as the name suggests, is a pointer. It's a German short-haired pointer, and it points to animals from class 1 to 9, excluding predators of the higher range. So basically, when you're out hunting, you ask the dog, help me find a class 1 animal or a class 2 to 4 animal, and it'll start searching around and find something for you to walk towards. So it's very helpful. Very helpful.
Super cool.
You can also use it to flush the smaller animals, the birds. We also have a cool new feature, which is a spot point. So if you spot an animal with your binoculars, you can tell the dog to track it and it will not lose the scent for it. So even if you miss it, then your dog will help you find it again.
Apart from that, it also has better usage of critical position, which I know some people in the community are confused about. So what critical position does is that when you're tracking towards an animal and the dog is noticing that the tracked animal is getting a bit skittish, maybe about to spook, the dog will go in a critical position, you get a little notice, the dog animations changes, and if you see that, then it means basically you need to also be quiet and be more mindful of how you approach. So it helps you hunt more easily or more efficiently if you're aware of what's going on in the surroundings. Apart from that, also during its search process, when it finds an animal, it'll start moving towards the animal, and when it's about 125 meters away from it, it'll start sneaking towards that animal. So it basically is telling you to also be more quiet, be aware of where the animal might be, so you don't mess up and spook it.
Oh, wow.
It will tell you as well if you spook the animal, so it's not able to track animals that are fleeing.
Exactly.
So yeah, it'll tell you that you screwed up.
Wow, that is a lot of really awesome stuff with the German short-haired pointer. This is going to be a really cool dog, and there's one other reason why this is probably going to be one of the best dogs in the game. They have added a brand new feature called the Expert Dog feature, which allows you to teach your dog a second job, like a bloodhound being able to retrieve as well, or a pointer being able to point and track blood. It is going to be crazy to see how versatile these dogs will become. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you do have to own both of the DLCs. So like you have to own the Bloodhound and the German short-haired pointer to teach your pointer to track blood. And you'd have to own the Retriever if you want to teach your Bloodhound to retrieve as well. So yes, you will have to own multiple dogs in order to teach your dog different things. So just keep that in mind. Something else that's very interesting is they have apparently made it so the dogs will now pee and poop. Yeah, you heard me right. The dogs will actually take a break to use the bathroom. And apparently they have made the appropriate animations for female and male dogs. And they mentioned that this was a request of Flinter from years ago. So there you go, Flinter. You got your request. So that right there is the first thing they showed off, and honestly, it's going to be a cool addition to the game. Probably going to be the most useful dog for a player like myself, who in many cases is out there trophy hunting and just trying to get trophies. This is going to be very helpful for multiplayer. You know, you spot something, you don't want it to get away, and you want to make sure that you don't lose track of it. This pointer is going to be a key for that. Next, we have what is probably the biggest or second biggest part of this update. We've got a brand new map. Now, this is not your average map. It is not going to be as big as what we're used to. I believe they said that it's going to be like half the size of a normal Call of the Wild map. But this right here is allowing them to do something that I'm going to talk about later in this video a little bit more thoroughly. But this will essentially allow them to do 2 maps a year once again. A smaller map like this, and then a big map in June, I assume at least. Because it seems like that's what they've done this year. They started off with Sunderpatten in June, and then in December, we're going to get a smaller map, which I think that's a good middle ground, because only 1 map a year was kind of brutal, and even though this isn't going to be a full-size map, it's got some really cool stuff in it that we're going to talk about right now. I don't know how to pronounce this map. It's like Salzwiesen Park, or something like that. They talked about how it's a smaller map based in Germany and made for small game hunters. It includes a skeet range that will allow you to hone your skills and even compete with your friends, as well as a brand new 10 gauge over and under shotgun. The map is also going to be releasing December 3rd, just like the brand new dog. This map is designed to be the best bird hunting map available in the game and includes 2 new species, the ferruginous duck and gadwall. Waterfowl behavior has also been improved to create a more realistic experience with how the birds land, fly, and everything else relating to their behavior, which is really cool. The map includes upland birds, waterfowl, and small game like foxes and raccoons. Overall, this sounds like it's going to be a cool little small game map, and it will be quite fun, and there is another reason that this will be a really, really fun map. They talked about how we are getting 2 brand new great ones with this update, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe they mentioned that both of them are going to be on this new map, which is going to be incredible. We are going to be getting 2 new great ones, and they're both going to be on this map, which is just insane. And I have a feeling that with this being a smaller map, like they mentioned, it being half the size of a normal map, it'll probably be a relatively good map for grinding for both of these great ones. And the reason I say that is because the new great ones are going to be interesting. They're going to be a first for both of them in terms of the type of great one they are. We're getting a great one pheasant, which will be the first bird great one in the game. And we're also getting a great one red fox, which is going to be the first small game great one in the game. This is honestly the perfect way to introduce smaller great ones. I told you guys probably a couple years ago, and many times after that if they ever wanted to introduce a small game great one, they needed to do multiple at once. And that's exactly what they're doing in this update right here. We're getting 2 brand new great ones, with one of them being a bird and the other being a fox, which is going to be super cool. Something interesting to note about the 2 new great ones is they mentioned that this time around, they're not going to show us any of the variations. They're going to tell us what the great ones are, with that being pheasant and red fox, and they're just going to let us go out there and try to discover all the variations ourselves. And you know, there's been some concerns in the past with them not revealing great ones and then letting the community find them, and then modders trying to find them. But the thing is, it's really not too big of a concern, and I'm going to tell you why. Sure, of course, there's the concerns that people have, and they're justified concerns about the possibility that modders could get to the great ones before somebody who's playing the game legitimately. But in all reality, when these updates hit, it breaks any existing mods that people may be cheating with, and it usually takes at least like 4, 5, 6 days for those mod developers to update their mods to make them work with a brand new patch. So we will have a few days where we won't have to worry about cheaters finding these new great ones, and we can just get out there and try to get them ourselves. Now, obviously, it's not a perfect thing. There's always a chance that somebody that's cheating may end up getting their mods updated soon and spoiling the great one for everybody that's playing the game the normal way. But we should have at least a few days before that happens, so we're going to have to go crazy during the first, probably 3 to 5 days of this release to try and get at least a few of the new Great One variations throughout the whole community. And you guys know that I'm going to be going crazy trying to find those new Great Ones the second this update drops. And according to Jaxie Beard, there is a lot of variations for these great ones, so that is really awesome to hear. I cannot wait to see what variations get discovered and exactly how many there is, because it sounds like there's going to be a lot of different variations. The next thing we're going to talk about is the brand new community weapon pack that we have all been waiting for. This pack has been called the Hunter's Choice Bolt Action Rifle Pack, and it includes the 300 Blackout, the 450 Bushmaster, and the 375 Magnum. This DLC will also be releasing December 3rd. During this, they talked about how the team has grown, allowing them to create more content like we see in this massive update, which is really cool. This is why we're able to get 3 DLCs in one update that includes a kind of like mini map, a weapon pack, and a brand new dog, plus 2 great ones, and a revamp to the Hunt Club system, which we will talk about in a second. Their team has apparently grown quite a bit, and it's allowing them to create more content for the Hunter at a higher quality standard. And I mean, this is just a good thing for everybody. This is good news for the community because we're going to get more content and it's going to be better quality. It's good for the team because they'll be able to get more work done and further progress the game in the direction they want it to go. Overall, I mean, this is just good all around. Now, obviously, throughout this video, you guys have been seeing the trailers and parts from the preview playing in the background, so we're not going to show each of the trailers individually because, yeah, we've been showing them the whole time anyway. If you guys want to see the full trailers, if you want to see the full winter preview, be sure to go to the Expansive Worlds YouTube channel. You'll be able to find them there. Now, this right here is the last part of this brand new December 3rd update, but stay tuned because at the end, we're going to talk about something else that's pretty huge coming in 2025. With this December 3rd update, the Hunt Club will be changing forever. It's no longer going to be called the Hunt Club. It's now going to be called Challenges because it's going to mainly focus on challenges for us to complete. There's been changes to the UI that includes the ability to select which challenges you want to complete. This will include daily challenges, weekly challenges, and they'll have different rewards and difficulty levels. At the start, it's just going to be XP and cash rewards, but in the future, they would like to expand it to other things as well. They've also introduced a brand new type of challenge called photo challenges. So instead of shooting animals, you can go out and take pictures of specific animals. But this is going to be completely optional. There's going to be photo challenges and normal harvest challenges for you to select from, and you'll get to select whichever ones you want. So you're not forced to do the photo ones if you don't want to, but if you want to switch it up and go take some pictures of animals, you have the option to do that now as a challenge. Now, there will be new rewards that become available in the future, like I mentioned a second ago. I assume this will be whatever got voted the highest on the most recent survey, because they asked the question what type of rewards we would like to see, like what type of in-game rewards. So I can only imagine that the stuff that we voted for might one day come into the game as a reward for completing challenges in the new challenges menu. Now, the last crazy part about the challenge feature is community challenges will eventually return to Call of the Wild, just like the old days. If you guys were playing the game when the Hunt Club was first added, you will remember that we had a challenge to get the Stradivarius 270. If the entire community got, I believe it was a certain amount of kills in total or something like that during, I think it was like a week. I can't remember. It's been so long. But if we completed that challenge, we ended up unlocking the Stradivarius 270 skin. So that's really cool that they're going to bring this back. It's something that I really loved about the early days of Hunt Club was completing that community challenge. So it's so nice that that's going to return. Now, obviously, it's not going to be here at launch. They talked about that in the winter preview. But it will come in the future, and we will finally be able to do some community challenges together to earn one special item. Who knows, maybe more than one. Now, to wrap up this little preview video, the last thing they talked about is in 2025, we are going to be going back to 2 maps a year. Just like we're seeing this year, we had Sunder Patton in June, and now in December, we're getting Salfswiesen. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're going to do the same thing next year. We're going to get one in, I assume, June and December, just like always. So that's really awesome. They're going back to 2 maps a year, which is what all of us have been begging them to do. And the only reason that we really had an argument against doing 2 maps a year before was because the quality level of maps was better when they were doing 1. Like Sunder Patton and Emerald Coast are probably their 2 best maps they've ever made. And those maps took like a year to make. But now that their team is bigger, like they mentioned earlier in this showcase, they're actually able to go back to 2 maps a year without sacrificing quality, which is amazing. And Something I want to point out is when they talked about the fact that we're getting 2 new maps in 2025, they did show off a little preview of what I can only imagine is an early image of the new map, or an early, like, quick snippet of the new map. It looks to be snowy, so that's pretty exciting because we really only have a couple snowy maps. We've got, I mean, Thunder Patton gets snow as well, but the primary ones are Yukon and Medved. So what could this be? Let me know in the comments what you think this map is going to be. It looks like it's going to be a snowy map, provided this screenshot is actually from the next map, which it really seems like it is. Overall, this was an incredible preview, and there's so many good things coming in this next update. I really just cannot wait to get my hands on it. I hope they do an early access. I assume they probably will, so if they do an early access, you guys will, of course, see me making content early. If not, then I'll see you guys on the release day with all this brand new content. As far as I know, I didn't see any price tags floating around anywhere, so I don't think they've talked about the pricing of each of these DLCs yet. But all we know is the paid updates are going to be the weapon pack, the new dog, and the map. And then the free updates is going to be everything to do with the challenges, the 2 new great ones, and stuff like that. So while a lot of this is paid content, there is also some free stuff in here that's going to be quite fun. Now, what's interesting is, in order to get the pheasants, you're going to have to hunt Hirschfelden. Same with Red Fox if you don't own any DLC maps. If you are not someone who purchases DLC map, you're going to have to go to Hirschfelden, which is going to be interesting. Luckily, Hirschfelden's a great pheasant map, so it shouldn't be too bad. This might be one of those times where people actually decide to choose Hirschfelden as a primary grinding location for one of the new great ones. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video here. If you guys want me to break down anything more like in depth, then let me know in the comments, because I'd be glad to do another video talking about some of the different stuff in the game. Either way, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new, click the like button if you haven't, click the dislike if you hate the video or whatever, and leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys later. Peace.